Hey, good morning, Lakeview Intermediate. It is time to launch a day of learning, and we are going to make it a great one. It is Wednesday, February the 10th, and this is Lakeview Liftoff Live. Thanks for getting up early and joining us today and launching our day right. Okay, let's get to it. We have a few morning announcements. Just a reminder, fourth grade RSA tutoring students, once again, obviously we won't have that today. We're not doing that on Zoom while we are CLP. So as soon as we get back to in-person school, you students will meet in the pit for RSA tutoring. Fifth graders, reminder, your online enrollment forms are due this Friday. You've got 2 days, kind of 3 left, but definitely by Friday, you need to make sure those Google Forms are submitted. Talk to your parents about your electives, look at that elective list and the choices that you have, and prioritize, meaning put your favorite one first, your last choice last, so we know what your preferences are for sixth grade electives. In sixth grade, remember that your forms are due on February the 17th. You've got a little bit more time. All right, ice cream for ISIP. Still do not have the winners, but we will be getting that to you later this week. We're still holding out, hoping we can be back at school tomorrow so that we can get our last makeups done, but we will let you know we are ready to announce that. And just a reminder, if you're outside at home and if we come back to school tomorrow, bus riders, car riders, make sure you are dressed for the weather. It is super, super cold, and we want you all to be safe. And if you're a family in need, please message your teacher or counselor and let us know. We want everyone to be safe this week with the extreme cold. If anyone needs, I'm going to do a couple ad lib announcements. If anyone needs COVID testing, the district clinic is closed today because of the bad roads. So if you hear your parents talking about that, anyone needs to go to the district clinic, it will be closed today. Hopefully it'll be open tomorrow. The roads are supposed to be better tomorrow, but the clinic is closed today. All right. And meal service. We still do not have meal service because of the bad roads. So no meals distributed to schools today. And I hate that, but hopefully we'll get that up and running soon if we are still on CLP. All right. It's time for the Miller 5 shout out. You know you make me wanna. So let's see who we've got today on the Miller 5 shout out. Oh, this one comes from the 5th grade in Pod 1. It is Caleb Kent. Caleb, I'm looking at you, bud. Caleb is always a wonderful example of a student who follows the Miller 5. He gives it his all on his schoolwork, is polite and respectful to his teachers and classmates. He takes the time and stop and help others without even being asked. What a great description of a student. Caleb, way to be a role model for those around you and for our entire 5th grade and school. We are proud of you, and that's why you are today's Miller 5 shout out. Congratulations. All right. Next, it's time for Admit 1 with our counselors, Mrs. Mann and Miss Conklin. Let's bring them in here. Good morning, ladies. How are you?
Morning. Good.
Good morning. Doing good. Doing good.
Mrs. Mann, I'm dying to know, is there something, because I think the cold weather and being home, because sometimes that can get us down. Is there something to celebrate today? Do we have anything at all?
Well, there's always something to celebrate. Every day is a holiday. You know
All
that.
right.
So today's holiday, I looked it up. I better make sure because I don't want to get it wrong. Today's holiday is Umbrella Day.
Ah.
So I don't know if we have freezing rain or drizzle or sleet or any of those, frozen things falling from the sky. If you go outside, you might need your umbrella today.
Yeah, exactly. A little frozen umbrella.
That's right. And who doesn't love to play with an umbrella? I mean, twirl around and all kinds of things.
I'm thinking of an umbrella with an ice scraper on the bottom of it.
That would be really handy. A scrape umbrella.
That would be really good. Yeah.
That's a good idea, Miss Conklin. You should market that.
Yeah.
Especially in Oklahoma, because we're like one of the worst places in the world, I think, for freezing rain. And you could be ready for anything if you had a scrape umbrella.
Right.
Hey, we are on to something here. All right. Well, what do we got for Admit 1 today, ladies?
Well, we've been talking a lot about conflict resolution and how to be a friend and different things like that. So we thought today we would go back to the basics. Let's talk about friendship basics, things that we all know in our heads and in our hearts, but things we need the reminder of so that we can be a good friend. So we've got a little video for you to watch.
All right, let me get it on screen here.
So you have a new friend. That's great. Good for you. You're calling each other all the time. You're texting each other. Life is good. But here's the real question. How do you keep that friend? And what makes up a great friendship? Now, technically, that's two questions, I know, but they're related. You see, there are some common themes to good friendships. First of all, you have to have shared interests, right? There has to be something that you guys like to do together. That's obvious. But the thing is, maybe your friend can learn to get into the things that you're into. Maybe you can go hiking and your friend's like, I've never been hiking. Let's try it. Maybe they like it. I don't know. We'll find out. But maybe you could learn to be interested in stuff that your friend likes to do. Like knitting. I don't know, try it. It might be cool. The second thing is empathy. Every good friendship has empathy. And empathy just means that, when your friend is happy, you're happy for him. Whee, we're all having fun, right? That's empathy. But the other side of it is if your friend is really sad about something like that, then maybe you're sad for them. This isn't working. And I don't really recommend that you use big, huge helium yellow objects with faces on them if your friend is actually really sad about something. Start with listening. See how that goes. Then balloons. The third piece of this puzzle is respect. Now that just means that even if you have very different opinions from each other, that you still respect the other person's opinion and you try to see where they're coming from, right? The fourth thing is loyalty. And that just means things like if you say you're going to be somewhere at a certain time, you're there at that time. You're not there at this time. You're there at this time. Maybe you're even there at this time. Wow, that'd be awesome, wouldn't it? That's called dependability. Another part of dependability is that if you say you're going to call someone, call them. Do it. Now that brings me to my next point. Forgiveness. Now, everyone's forgotten to call someone at some point, or everyone has broken something, or, maybe you were in 4th grade and you were riding your best friend's brand new bike and you wrecked it and the frame got bent, and now every time your friend tries to ride his bike, he has to hold it really hard to the right and it wobbles because you can't go straight anymore. Theoretically, that never happened to me or anything. I'm just saying it would be really sad if you were an adult and you're still remembering this thing that happened when you were in 4th grade because your friend Chad never forgave you. That would be horrible, right? Theoretically, you don't want that. So say you're sorry, right? But it's also important to say, I forgive you. And I really hope you're listening to this, Chad Feldman, because it was an accident. I'm sorry. So that brings me to the final quality of a healthy friendship, reciprocity. Now, you're probably asking yourself, what's reciprocity? So here it is. Actually, this is just a volleyball, but I'm going to use this to demonstrate what reciprocity is all about. You ready? Hey, here you go. Now, reciprocity means there's give and take. Both people in a friendship are respecting each other. Both people are forgiving each other. Both people are taking interest in the other person's interests. If you want to have a good friendship, you need to be a good friend. Now, if only one person is doing all of the giving and the other person's doing all of the taking, that's not reciprocity, and that's not a healthy friendship. In fact, it's kind of sad.
Well, he said lots of really, really good things. And so some of the things that I like the most out of the many things that he was talking about. Well, let's just go over those really quick. So shared interest, we want to make sure that we have a shared interest with our friends. Empathy, respect, loyalty, forgiveness, and reciprocity. So that's a lot to remember, but I wanted to review those one more time, and we're not going to review them all today because we don't have enough time. But I really like loyalty out of all of those, because we know about respect, and we usually do that in our classrooms each day, and we're reminded about that all the time. But loyalty is very important in a friendship, and it's important to, with loyalty, have trust. So you know that when you're giving somebody the trust that they have earned, you want to also give them the same trust. So in other words, you want to let them be able to trust you. And part of that is being loyal, showing up every day, being there for your friend. And just, I don't know really how to say it other than just, you've got to be there for each other. And you need to show the person that you are there. That's very important. Mrs. Mann, was there something that you saw in there that you really liked?
Yeah, I really think that a big part of being a good friend is that reciprocity. I think that's something we don't really think about very often, especially that big word. I tell my kids, learn something new every day. Some of you just learned a new word for the day. So reciprocity, giving and taking, and I thought the volleyball was a great example of that. You can't be the one that just takes all the time in the relationship, because relationships have to go both ways. It's not healthy for you to be the one that's always forgiving, always loyal, always honest, always doing all those things, sharing in the interest of your other friend, if they don't give back and put some effort into that relationship. And so that's just good life advice for all of our kiddos, all of us as adults, that we need to remember that friendship really has to go both ways, and we both have to give and take. And like we've talked about with conflict resolution, Mrs. Conklin, we have to compromise, and compromise is so hard because we want what we want when we want it. That's just our human nature. But we've got to step back, and we've got to compromise and have some of that reciprocity, which goes right along with loyalty. So just a couple of good reminders today.
I'm talking with students all the time about, my friend didn't want to play this at recess, and we always have to play what she wants, or we always have to do what he wants. And so I think this is a very good example of how important it is for them to share and not always get what you want. And then they'll say sometimes to me, well, I don't really want to play that. And so then I tell them, well, part of being a friend is enjoying what someone else wants to do. You can't always have what you want. You've got to sometimes compromise and do what the other person wants to do, because that's important to them. And it's important to recognize and acknowledge what's important to them as well.
That's right. That's right.
Great stuff. I was going to add, I like the part about forgiveness. I think I see a lot of students and adults, I do it too. Sometimes it's hard when we feel like someone's wronged us, and we can be angry and we can hold that grudge inside. And I think of students who are angry with each other over something that happened 2 or 3 grades ago. And I think of the opportunities maybe they've missed to play and do things together, maybe on the playground now in 5th grade or 6th grade over something that happened in 3rd grade. And I think of moments you might be missing out on with a friend because you're refusing to let go of something. And so that can be tough sometimes, because sometimes our friends do hurt us. But to try to listen and forgive when a friend is genuinely sorry for something that happened, I think that's important for us to remember as well.
Yeah, it really is. These are just some basic friendship things that are not always easy to do. And we know that. We recognize that. But just some good reminders today of how to actually be a friend and keep a friend. So,
yeah. We got lots of great friendships at Lakeview. It's great to see kids happy and enjoying school together, and making new friends. We have an opportunity to make lots of new friends too when we come from different schools at the start of the year, especially this year. We had even more than normal kids coming from different places, or new students coming in, and we're welcoming and friendly to them. And it's always great to see friendships start. That oftentimes when we see kids graduating, they're like, oh, we've been friends since we were at Lakeview. I love that.
yeah.
So. All right. Well, thank you, ladies. That was excellent. And let's move on to something else very positive, and that would be our corny joke of the day. And of course, we can't do that without our assistant principal, Mrs. Frame. Let's bring her in. Good morning, Mrs. Frame.
Good morning.
All right. So I have another student submission today for a corny joke. I've got to get it back on screen here. And I appreciate the students who send me corny jokes. I've got a long list, and I'll try to get them on Liftoff. But this one is ours for today. Here we go. Corny joke. Ladies, do you know why the cookie was sad?
Mm-mm.
Well, he's sad because his friend was away for too long. I did that in my sad voice. So that was from Kyrie Sands. Kyrie, thank you for a great corny joke of the day. I hope it made everybody go, oh, because that means it's a good one.
I thought it was cute.
Yeah, that's a fun one. So, all right. Well, Miss Conklin, have a great day of CLP. And any other reminders or anything for anybody, or are we good?
Oh, I think we're good. Just be kind, be safe out there on the internet. Do what you're supposed to do. Don't have extra tabs open.
Work on
That's
your
right.
packet for enrollment.
There you go. Absolutely. All right. Thank you, ladies. Have a great day. All right, Mrs. Frame, let's go to our pledges.
Okay, please quietly stand up. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. In the Oklahoma flag salute, I salute the flag of the state of Oklahoma. Its symbols of peace unite all people. You may be seated for a moment of silence. During this time, you may reflect, meditate, pray, or engage in other silent activity.
All right. Well, just to remind everybody, we are on our CLP schedule. As long as we are CLP, we follow that schedule and not our daily school schedule, which means your first class starts here in about 12 minutes. Got a little chance to grab a little breakfast or get a restroom break or a cool drink of water or something before you get ready for learning. And please remember those CLP procedures. I won't go over them all again today, but in summary, be there, be on time, be ready, show your Miller 5. Turn your camera on, show your teachers your face. They love to see you and see your reactions and that you're engaged. Engage in chat if they ask you to. Answer questions and keep working hard with your learning today and make it a great day of learning. All right. You ready, Mrs. Frame?
I'm ready.
Here we go. We are
Lakeview.
We are not
Average.
We will strive.
For the Miller 5.
And whatever it takes, we will
Grow.
Oh, yeah. 3, 2, 1.
Liftoff.
Have a wonderful Wednesday, Lakeview. We'll see you later.